Welcome back to the Legacy Podcast. My name is Olisya Grant, co-founder of The Matrix Legacy, and this is episode number 8. This is a show where we create a blueprint for success together. We break those chains of a poverty mindset, and we look for ways to create generational wealth. So I'm always looking for inspiration from people who are really out here doing it. While you're on that journey to build a legacy, it's so inspiring to see people who have either A, already built one that they're continuing to build, or to see somebody truly fighting to leave something behind and to leave their impression, their mark on this earth. Now, there's been a gentleman that I recently stumbled upon. His name is David Goggins, and his mentality is so different than anything I've heard up until this point. He's somebody that truly embraces the challenges, the struggles, for lack of better terms, the suffering in life, because he understands that if he can get through that, he can get through anything. And his mission truly is to just be the hardest man on earth. So in that, there was one clip in particular that I was watching that really resonated with me. He was speaking about how much value there is to be had in good mentorship. But in the same breath, what really truly upsets him about mentorship is the people who are labeling themselves as mentors are not really out here doing it. They're hanging on to a success they might have had 5 years ago. They're giving advice on something that they're not actively doing, and is causing so much more harm than good, because people are following these people that are not doing the things that they're preaching. And then so whoever that person is, their mentee is not able to achieve results because that person's not in the zone. They don't actually understand the space and time that that individual is in and exactly what they need to hear and what steps they need to take, because they're not doing it. So essentially what David Goggins was saying, mentorship is only good if the mentor is currently living in the thing that they're mentoring on. I don't care what you did 20 years ago. What are you doing today? Because as much as we want to be independent and be the strongest, we all have blind spots. And when you have somebody who has your best interests at heart, is currently out there in the field playing the game, and they can take a bird's eye view of your situation and just kind of check those blind spots for you, it unlocks something that you might not have been able to see on your own. And so that's what I really wanted to speak on today, is the importance of mentorship. But on the flip side of that is not using mentorship or the need for a mentor as an excuse not to take action. So leading right into that, there is a term that gets bounced around sometimes, and that term is self-made. To clarify, I don't believe that there is such thing as a self-made person on this planet. Every truly successful person knows that they did not make it there on their own. And I think what happens with that terminology of self-made is we get that mixed up with the term independent. There's a very big difference between independent and being self-made. I don't believe that it's possible to be self-made, because there's so many influences and so many things that have come before us and so many things that are greater than us that by default you're influenced by something. I believe that we are so prideful as individuals as we start our journey that we don't want to feel like we have to depend on anybody. There's a big difference between depending on people to make things happen and allowing people to provide insight on the path or the journey that you're on, because they've already been a few steps ahead of where you're looking to get to. So that doesn't mean you're needy. That doesn't mean you don't have the skills, you don't have the ability. That doesn't mean you're any less successful. But what's the point of somebody going on the same journey or a similar journey as you, and they've made the mistakes that you're about to make? Why wouldn't you take advantage of that and say, what can I learn from this person? Or what did I really appreciate about what this person has done that I can then apply to my own life? I believe that a mentor can serve as a guide. They shouldn't be the end all be all, tell you what to do. And I think that's where we get caught up in making the excuse of, I need a mentor before I start. I need a coach before I start. I need somebody to tell me what to do. What I truly believe is that a mentor could be in any form. So let's take this podcast for example. My mentor for podcasting was all the people on YouTube who were willing to share their own journeys about how they got started and what things that they wish they knew when they first got started. I never met these people a day in my life, but they served as the greatest mentors to me because they were willing to share the insight that they had. I was about to take a similar journey to one that they had already been on. So instead of me trying to jump in here and trying to sort it all out on my own, I just start seeing the things that I really appreciate and things that really resonate with me, and the things that maybe I didn't like so much that I wanted to omit, or just hear about the mistakes or the challenges that they ran into. So then when I run into those challenges, it's not a shock. It's not something that's going to stop me because I already saw it coming. Why? Because somebody already did it. Somebody already went there and saw what I'm about to see. So now I know what to do. But at the end of the day, it's still up to me to do the doing. So for those of you waiting and saying, I can't make a move until somebody tells me what to do, you've got to tell yourself what to do. And then be resourceful enough to use the experiences of others to help you along your journey. I believe that a mentor could really help you collapse time frames, because all those people I learned from in regards to how to do what I'm doing now could have taken them months to figure it out. So what might have taken somebody else months or years to accomplish, I'm able to accomplish in a matter of days to weeks, simply because they've provided the insight that I can now take and shape into my own. Now, what happens a lot of times is people go on this hunt to find a mentor, to find somebody to help guide them. And their first instinct is, let me send an email and ask somebody, hey, will you be my mentor? And that's not the way you do it. Because if somebody sent me an email like that, the way that I read it is, can you consult for me for free? Now, a mentorship relationship is a two-way street. Too often I see people come in with their hands out, just show up with their hand out saying, give me all you got. Now, how do you expect to gain value if you're not willing to give value? If you just show up with your hand out, how willing do you think that person is to just hand over everything they've got? You haven't come from a place of, what can I do for you? To just get a little glimpse of all the knowledge and all the experiences that you have. What can I do? How can I serve in a way that is beneficial to both sides? And so when I really was able to define what a mentor was 2.5 years ago. I went to a networking event, heard from a gentleman by the name of Mr. Byron Nelson. And he's a big, massive part of who I am, what the Matrix Legacy stands for. Because what I found is somebody who's really currently doing the things that they speak about. So when I get little pockets of time where I'm able to say, hey, coach, what do you think about this? It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to take every single thing he says verbatim, because his life is not my life. But just to know that I have people around me that can take a look at my situation. I can map out the thoughts in my head and put them on paper and say, what does this look like to you? Let me know how you receive this based on all the experiences you've had, based on all of the challenges you might have run across. What do you see when you look at this plan that I have? Then I could take that insight to the drawing board and see if it fits with me. A mentor is not somebody who needs to tell you exactly what to do. A mentor is simply there to just guide you based on their experiences. But what's important to note is that their experience is not necessarily going to be your experience. So if you're waiting on somebody to tell you what to do, or you're waiting to find the perfect coach, the perfect mentor, the first mentor that you need is yourself. The first guide, so I take mentor and guide almost as the same term. So the first guide that you need is yourself. You dig down within and you say, what is my purpose? What are my dreams? What do I truly feel like I'm called to do? And whatever that first instinct is, act on it. Your first mentor, your first coach is going to be the failures or the successes that you receive from the steps that you take. But you can never know if you're on the right path if you do not even take a couple steps onto it. A lot of us are waiting for the answer, but the thing is, you have to find the answer. There's no way I would have known that my passion is in financial literacy and helping people understand that wealth is a mindset. I would have never understood that if I didn't just take a jump. I saw an opportunity. I saw something that just felt right. And so I grabbed it and I said, you know what? If it doesn't turn out, oh well, at least I know that's something that doesn't work. But I reached out and I grabbed it, and the most beautiful outcome is currently unfolding for me, because the first guide, the first mentor that I needed was myself. I needed to understand for myself that I was worth the dreams and the visions that I had in my mind. And that's where that's saying, if the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's where that comes from. When you find your worth, when you find your value, your teacher is going to show up in the form of a YouTube video, in the form of an article, in physical human form, in a book. It's going to come up somewhere and give you the next piece you need to take that next step on your journey. But this always, always, always comes back to understanding your worth. Because in knowing your worth, you will understand that your purpose is to add value to others. You can't become wealthy until you make multiple people rich. That is true wealth. The more people you help, and I heard this on a call the other day. I was on a training call, and this phenomenal woman by the name of Renata Krumer, she said something that is just embedded in my mind right now. She says, if you want more, serve more. If you want more, serve more. And what that means is if you're lacking something in your life, that means you haven't helped enough people. You're too busy walking around with your hands out instead of thinking, how can I give? What can I provide? Who can I serve? And serve doesn't have to be financially. Who can I pass this information on to? How can I help that person on their journey? What does that person need in order to fulfill whatever their vision, whatever their dream is? That doesn't mean forget about your dream, your vision, your desires. But it means in order for you to get everything you want, you have to help others get everything that they want. And these are lessons that I've learned from mentorship. Mentorship in human form, mentorship in the form of a YouTube video, mentorship in the form of my parents, in the form of a book, in the form of whatever was inspiring to me at the time, and from true experience. Every single time I help somebody get closer to their dreams, I get closer to my dreams. Every time. And this also shows me that mentorship truly stretches your belief system, because it's very hard for you to believe in something you haven't seen. You borrow somebody else's vision until you can see for yourself. And a lot of people turn to their friends for mentorship, but the friends don't have the same vision. If the people in your circle do not have the same vision, or the people you're taking mentorship and advice from don't have your vision, it's going to cause division. It's going to cause separation. It's going to cause chaos and turmoil because something is not right. Somebody doesn't see what you see. So regardless if it's your friend or your family, somebody that you really love and is close to you, you can love that person from afar until you get to your vision. Because once you get there, you can go ahead back and get them if that's what you need to do. Or while you're running, they're going to get so inspired by your race that they're going to start running for themselves. But you have to find people with the same vision. Find people who have already gone where you want to go. Find mentors in whatever form they come in, and take from the things that resonate with you and leave the things that don't. You don't have to take everything on. But you do have to be open to learning from people and learning from things that have had experiences that you haven't yet had. And so that's the building block, essentially. Understand that mentorship can come in different forms. Understand that mentorship is essential. But understand that lack of a human mentor or lack of a physical coach is not an excuse not to start your journey. Find somebody that's got a similar vision to yours that can help you create everything that's up here. And in that, once you've created everything that's here, make sure you go back and you serve. If you want more, serve more. That is the key. If you want more out of this life, you have to serve more. I hope right now I'm speaking to the person that is stalling because they haven't found somebody to tell them what to do. I'm telling you what to do right now. Look inside yourself and mentor yourself first. And when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Take that step today. Not tomorrow, not later, not next week. Today is the day. If this is helping somebody, if this has helped you even in the slightest, send this to a friend. Send this to somebody who needs to hear it. Like and subscribe because it helps other people receive the same message. Join me here next weekend as we create another building block. We are 8 episodes in to creating our blueprint for success, and I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more inspired. This is truly pushing me to be more because I need to have something to give every single week. And because I'm giving, I'm receiving so much on the back end. And I truly want everybody to experience the same joy and the same happiness that I'm able to experience right now. And the happiness is because I can already see where I'm going because I found people who have been in the places that I want to go. And now I can envision myself in those spaces because those people have already seen what's up here. So now all I have to go do is go and get it. That's all that's left. Until next time, let's build a legacy.